What's up, my friends? Yeah, a little bit of a technical issue there. But I'm back. I'm back in the game, baby. Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me, place to be. We're rocking and rolling on what's today? On a Wednesday afternoon, evening, just chatting about the topic. Yeah, let's go with that topic. What if, why aren't you selling more? That's the topic. Why aren't you selling more? And maybe a sub question to that is, what if the reason that you're not selling more is how you're saying that? How you're saying it? Yeah. All right. So let's jump on it. We're going to chat for a few minutes, maybe about 20 minutes or so. And the topic is, what if the reason that you're not selling more is because of how you're saying it? I know that you've got a great offer. You've got some solid service. Maybe you've even got some testimonials, but what if the way that you're saying something isn't sparking interest, excitement, or action? Let's chat about that for a little bit. So let me jump on over. If you're joining me, if you're hanging out online with us, we are live right now on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are on LinkedIn. If you are here with us on any of those channels, do me a favor. I am looking around because I'm trying to click a button here. Do me a favor and make sure that you just drop your name, drop a comment so that we can chat with you. And if you are out there and you're like, hey, dude, I want to chat with you, I'm opening it up for you to come hang out with me backstage on the pop-up Zoom. All right, I'm opening it up. So as a matter of fact, let me make sure that I get into that pop-up Zoom really quickly so that I can let you in if you choose to join me on stage here. All right, so yeah. All right, let's make sure that we're locked in. Yep, we are good to go, locked in. So yeah, if you want to join me on stage here just to hang out for a little bit, go to amplifyvoiceandvideosummit.com/pop-up Zoom. All right, amplifyvoiceandvideosummit.com/pop-up Zoom. All right. Hey, Seth, how you doing? Landy James Inc., how you doing? So glad that y'all are here. All right. So let's jump on in and chat about this here thing that we wanted to talk about. What if the reason that you're not selling more is because of how you are saying it? Yeah. So here's why I'm sharing this. I've gotten this question quite often. Hey, Robert, listen, I've got some stuff that I want to sell. I've been doing all the things. I've been speaking as you recommend, but I'm not really getting any turnover. I'm not really getting any people to come in and purchase my product. So when I was a kid, I remember back in the 80s. Yes, it was a while ago. I remember back in the 80s, there was this product, this vacuum cleaner that was, I guess, pretty hot back in the day. It was, and I'll tell you the name of it. It was called Kirby. If any of y'all are out there and you remember Kirby, come on, say yes if you remember Kirby. Kirby, Kirby. Right? I remember the Kirby salesperson coming to our house, and they would whip out the Kirby machine, and they would whip out this pad, and even if you had a vacuum cleaner already, they would whip out this little filter and put it inside the Kirby and vacuum a little small area of the floor, and they would take out the filter, and it would be so disgustingly dirty. They're like, look at all this extra garbage, this extra stuff that you got on your floors. Do you want your kids rolling around in that? Right? And so they would share all that. And then after they showed us how the vacuum worked, they would take out this other hose and they would stick it on the side and say, yep, you can use this part of it as a sander, like to sand wood. Yeah. right? They would show us that. And then they would take that off and add another hose to it and say, okay, yep, you can use this to shampoo your carpet. And then they would take it off and add another hose and say, yep, you can use this to wash your car. And then they would take it off and add another hose and say, yep, you can use this as a back massager. So this one vacuum cleaner did 49, 50, 11 different things, and that's how they would sell it. So pretty much, and it wasn't cheap. It was like back in the day, in the 80s, it was probably like $900 or $1,000. That's like $15,000 in today's dollars, right? For a vacuum cleaner. So the salesmen would go around and they were making a killing because they were just coming in and giving you the Swiss Army knife vacuum cleaner. But what we noticed over time, and most of the people that sold with us and for us, what we noticed was that pretty much after a few weeks, we used the Kirby vacuum cleaner for vacuuming. And that was it. We didn't wash the car with it. We didn't shampoo the floor with it. We didn't sand wood with it. And we certainly didn't use it as a back massager. Right? We did not use it. So here's the question. Number one, why was it so successful? And then number two, why did it stop being successful? Because here's what's happened over time. People have become a little bit more sophisticated, right? People have become a little bit more sophisticated in how they purchase products. People have become more sophisticated in how they interact with products and how they interact with salespeople. And so as people have become more sophisticated, some people have not gotten sophisticated in how they share information and how they sell products. Right? If you're on right now and you want to jump on with me, do me a favor. I'm going to put this link up again. So if you want to hop on with me in the back room here, go to amplifyvoiceandvideosummit.com/pop-up Zoom. All right. So what I want to walk through really quickly is 3 reasons that a lot of salespeople, a lot of business owners are not making the momentum and the progress that they desire with business because of the way that they're sharing information about their products and services. Right? So let's walk through some of these things together. And let me say what's up to a few of the people that are on Instagram. Hey, Instagram people, Seth your Lord, my dude. I said what's up to you already. All right. Zeal for Life 2. How you doing? ZL. Good to see you. All right. So reason number one that quite a few people do not make success at selling their product or growing in their sales is, let me see if I can pull this on screen here. Reason number 1, over-explaining the product. Over-explaining the product. Yeah. Have you ever run into someone, or maybe you've seen a commercial, or maybe you've seen something, and what they do is they immediately start to talk about all of the things that the product does. Like the Kirby salesman, right? They tell you about how it's a vacuum cleaner and a Swiss Army knife and a car washing machine, and they tell you all of the things about this product. I'll give another example. I've shared this example in some of my sessions previously, where back in the day I was sitting in my living room in Massachusetts and the doorbell rang. And when I went outside or went and I looked through the window, there's this dude in the driveway. He had a display board. And on that display board were all of these little squares. And looking through the window, it was about maybe 20 feet away from me. And so I could make out the squares, but I couldn't really make out what each of them were. They just looked like little colored squares. So I go outside, open the door, and you know, when people are unexpected and you open the door, you don't always open the door real wide. You just kind of stick your head through, or just enough so that they can see your eyes and your face to say, hey, how can I help you? right? So I say, hey, how can I help you? The guy says to me, he says, hey, my name's Mark and I'm selling carpet. So I've got this display board here and I want you to feel the different carpets that are on my display board. I've got Berber, I've got high pile, low pile, medium pile, Goma pile, all the piles. I got the piles, right? And so he says, I've got this carpet and I'm touching the different pieces of carpet. So the first one, the Berbers, you know, your standard house carpet, a little bit rough. I guess it's supposed to be long lasting, heavy duty. Then you've got the low pile carpet, which is a little bit softer. And then the medium pile, which is, oh, you're getting into the shag type of carpet. And I'm touching these pieces of carpet. And as I'm touching each piece, he's explaining to me where it was made. He's explaining to me the types of thread that are used or the types of fibers that are used to make this carpet. He's explaining to me the different countries that it comes from. He's explaining all this stuff to me. Then after a few minutes, I say, yeah, that's cool. And then I open my door to my house and show him that I've got hardwood. Right? So he spent 5 minutes explaining to me all of the different features of this carpet. The only thing that he didn't do was spill chocolate syrup on it and show me with a sponge how we could wipe it off. He went through all of this different information. There's all of this different data about the product. And then I opened my door and he saw that I had hardwood. So he says, oh, you've got hardwood floors, thanks. And he walked away. He spent all that time doing just what we're talking about here, over explaining the product. You see, people buy solutions and not features. People connect with your solution when they know that you understand the challenge that they have. And this guy did not even know what I needed. He just said, hey, house, human, carpet. That's that's it, right? So if you are over explaining your product, if you're over explaining your service, if you're over explaining your process, your product, your program, you're doing yourself a disservice. Reason number two, some people are having trouble with the sales is the flat delivery. Flat delivery. Have you ever, and this is probably an 80s reference. You remember that dude, that movie, that Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I think it was Bueller. Okay, that may be too old. All right. Or maybe it was the dude from Sister Act, the priest that was teaching Latin and his voice was just flat. Right. So he had he was in front. Hey, Dr. Erica Taylor. So good to see you. He had this flat affect, flat delivery, no voice, no energy, no engagement. How many of you have been to a session? How many of you have been to watched a video, or you've been to a workshop or a conference where you've seen a presenter, and that presenter, they have good information, but the entire time their voice sounds just like this, like they are reading from a robotic script. And it does not matter how good their information is. You're like, oh my gosh, this dude's boring me to tears, and I want to poke my eyeballs out, right? How many, I mean, most people don't say they want to do that. Here's what people do instead. They just go, okay, this dude, yeah, let me get my phone. And that's what happens. That's what happens, right? So when you have people in your space, or when you are delivering content, when you're delivering information, how do you get engagement? How do you get people to pay attention? Well, having good content is one way, but a piece of that equation also is your delivery. If you've got no energy, no engagement, no voice, right? So people buy from confidence and connection, right? So if your voice indicates confidence and conviction and belief in what you're saying, people pay attention. If your voice indicates connection, if your voice indicates that you're seeking an experience or some situation or some emotion that your audience has experienced, they pay attention a little bit more. That builds trust. But if you are just there delivering the facts, just the facts, ma'am, if you're delivering just the information, then you lose your audience, right? And so one of the things, I'm losing all my words. One of the ideas or execution elements that I pay attention to when I'm delivering content or information is the energy variation that I use. Right? So if I'm telling a story, if I'm sharing something with my audience and I want them to pay attention to a certain part of the story, then I'm going to change my energy. I'm going to change how I deliver that content. You're going to hear some inflections in my voice, and you're going to see me, my eyes open wide, and I'm going to share information a little bit differently. But if I want you to be reflective, my eyes might narrow a bit, and I'll step back just a touch. And I'll slow down the delivery. I'll slow down my cadence, because humans tend to mirror, right? We've got these biological pieces. I'm messing up my scientific words, and I was a science teacher, y'all. I'm messing that up. But people tend to mirror the situations that they're in. Psychologists and some sales trainers will tell you that you should mirror your audience, or mirror the person that you're selling to. Whatever their features are or whatever their behaviors are, try to mirror those, because that signals connection. Right? And so if I'm applying that to how I speak, if I'm energetic, then my audience tends to lean towards energy. Thank you, Dr. Erica Senses. Thank you. Thank you. That's why we have doctors in the audience. Right? If I'm energetic, then people tend to lean towards the energy. If I'm not energetic and I'm boring, then people tend to be bored. But if I want to have them be reflective, I don't necessarily have to have energetic delivery all the time. I could deliver it in a little bit more of a laid back way, but then I've got to pay attention to the words that I offer, the framework or the structure of what I offer. And that allows people to pay attention differently, right? So number one, let's go back to this. So number one reason why some people may not be selling is over explaining the product. Number two, flat delivery. Number three reason is that many people, many business owners have either no call to action or a weak call to action, right? No call to action or a weak call to action. How many times have you been or seen people get on a, hey, Miss Brathwaite, how you doing? How many times have you seen people get on a stage, share information, and then walk away, and the audience is left saying, wait a minute, so what's next? What are we supposed to do next? Do we have homework? Are we supposed to just say, nod our heads and say, yeah, that's nice, and then go on to our next meeting? Or is there something that we should be doing with this information? To be a transformational trainer, to be a transformational keynoter, to be a business owner that moves people to action, we've got to deliver or share what that action may be. We want them to move to action. And we also want to be careful. We also want to share that when we talk about calls to action, the calls to action are not just, ho, buy my product. The call to action is not just go buy this. All right. The call to action has got to be something that moves them from the place that they're in, something that they care about currently, some challenge that they're walking through. I've got to highlight that. I've got to bring that to the forefront. I've got to acknowledge that. And once I've acknowledged the elephant in the room, once I acknowledge the challenge, once I acknowledge what's happening in their space, then I can deliver a call to action. So for example, we're talking about this AMPLIFY Voice and Video Summit that is happening next week on the 23rd and the 24th. Who is that for? Well, it's for business owners who are struggling to articulate their message more effectively. It's for business owners who are struggling to gain their audience's attention because they have not leveraged or solidified their brand. Right? And if you don't have a brand, if you haven't solidified your brand, then it's harder for you to gain interest. It's harder for you to gain visibility. It's hard for you to gain leads because there's so much happening. There's so much happening around the world. There's so much happening online. There's so much noise that it's tough for people to make decisions. We talk about people's attention spans being shorter. No, their attention spans are not being, they're not shorter. They just have so many different things that they're looking at. Right? I want you to imagine this. You remember back in the day when you played dodgeball at recess, right? Back in the day when we played dodgeball at recess, you had two people, two teams, and there was one person with one ball throwing and hitting people, and they throw one ball and that person would get out. And then over time, we upgraded to a different version of volleyball, the type of volleyball where you've got the two teams and each team may have like 5 or 6 different balls that they're throwing, right? So I want you to imagine a person's attention being like this volleyball game. So back in the day, you would stand there and the one ball is coming at you and you would stand there for, you know, however many seconds it took for the ball to get to you. You dodge the ball and then you'd go pick up the ball and, you know, you'd walk around for it a little bit and you'd caress the ball and hug the ball, toss it up a few times, and you spend a lot of time with the ball. Now in the new school volleyball, instead of just being focused on the one ball and the one person that has the ball, now you're kind of like looking around. You're looking at that person. Oh, they're going to throw it. Oh my gosh, there's a ball. Oh my gosh, there's another one. Oh my gosh. Oh, so you're looking at all of these different balls. It's not that the attention span has gotten shorter. It's that there are different things to be aware of. They've got different options. They've got much more to pay attention to. Right. And so as speakers, as business owners, I've got to understand that perspective, and I've got to figure out, okay, how do I allow them to pay attention to my ball? How do I allow them to pay attention to what I'm sharing? Well, the first way to do that is by having them or showing them that you understand the challenge that they have. Right? And so somebody said, that's a great analogy. Listen, that's what it is. I really wish that we would, as business owners, I wish that as coaches, as consultants, as leaders, we would stop blaming the people and instead look at what situations they're in and what perspectives that they're looking at life from and what they're dealing with. And then we can create solutions for that. Because when we understand that, that's two things. It's empathy and it's connection. If I keep telling you that you have a short attention span, if I keep telling you that your attention span is like that of is less than a goldfish, then, oh my gosh, it might be something light, but it's the perspective. It's the direction that we come from. I don't want us to come from the direction of, okay, oh, people, they just don't know better. You know, they're not smart. They're smart. People are smart. They just have a lot of things to pay attention to. And so now it's my job as a business owner to figure out how to understand what's going on in their space, what's going on in their world, and show that I can connect with that. And the best way to do that, one of the best ways to do that is via story, by sharing your story, by sharing the challenges that you have navigated and that you've gone through, right? And when you can do that, people can say, aha, yes, Dr. Erica understands. They can say, yes, aha, Seth understands. Aha, Ms. Brathwaite understands. Aha, Landy James understands. Aha, LinkedIn user understands, right? You want to be able to create similarity, congruence, connection with people. So utilizing stories for that. And so as we do this, come through cohort 2, 21. Who's the other LinkedIn user? Go ahead. You got to put your name in there now so that I know who you are, because apparently it's one of my 10KSB people. Yeah. So Jerry L. Bailey, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. So why I'm sharing this information is because a lot of this is what we're going to be walking through and covering at the summit. If you have not yet registered for that, head on over to the comments or the caption here, because I really want you to get to this Amplify Voice and Video Influence Summit, right? It is April 23rd and 24th. If you are a business owner, right, or a small business leader and you are looking to build your brand, boost your leads, and skyrocket your sales, we want to walk you through LaKanya Murray, Off the Mark IP Solutions. How you doing? Yeah, so if you want to build your brand, you forgot to say that. Oh, Kelly, comments with Kelly. Good. Oh my gosh, all the 10KSB people in the house. What's going on, people? So y'all are interrupting me. So if you want to build your brand, boost your leads, and skyrocket your sales, and you want to leverage your voice and presence, then that's what we're going to be walking through at this summit. All right. So if you're struggling to confidently communicate your value, if you're missing out on high impact opportunities that can help you get through the noise in the marketplace, right? If you're getting overlooked right now, it's as you're doing or delivering or executing your marketing, and you feel like you're maybe getting overlooked, or there's some stuff that you could be doing easier and better, getting in front of more people, that's what this summit is helping you to do, all right? Helping you to speak with confidence on stage or on screen, building a brand that attracts attention and buyers, using video for that, and turning your voice into your most valuable asset or marketing tool. So let me run through some of the presenters here. Ramon Ray, building a brand with your voice. Quinn Conyers, how to identify opportunities for your message. Danny Del Vecchio, getting leads with video. Pierre Quinn, mastering the right story for the right audience, right? Tanya Smith, building a community with voice and video. Tatiana Rodriguez, managing the fright of speaking and video. But you're laughing, LaKanya Murray, but guess what? You did a really good job of branding Off the Mark IP Solutions. And guess what? We just said it on this video. Oh yeah. So y'all go check out LaKanya Murray, Off the Mark IP Solutions. All right. So we got 15 fantastic, phenomenal presenters that are going to be at this Influence Summit. And I want y'all to be a part of this. I want to encourage you that if you are looking, you're saying, wow, I've been doing this in my business, but you know that your business could be so much more, or that you wouldn't have to be working so hard on the marketing piece of it, right? If you know that you're at the space in your business where you're saying, my gosh, I could be helping so many more people. One of the best ways, one of the easiest ways to do that is by using your voice. Yeah, you can cold call. Yeah, you can have people on your team call in. But these days, especially, when you have a brand that believes in something, when you have a brand that people can identify with something, and they know that that brand cares about the issues and the challenges and the obstacles and the problems that they're having, they lean towards that brand. And so you want to be able to leverage that. And then once you've got their attention, how do you keep it? How do you engage it? How do you move it from just the words to the action? right? And so I want you all to be a part of this Amplify Summit. We've got some phenomenal sponsors, Big View, Speaker Videos, Elgato. We're going to be doing some phenomenal giveaways. One of the phenomenal giveaways is this. Let me actually take you to this website. One of our sponsors, I'm taking you to their website right now. It is Speaker Hub, and they are, I love their tagline up at the top. It says, Speaker Hub transforms speakers into business owners and business owners into speakers. Okay, join the world's largest speakers bureau, built for speakers, entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants who want to get in front of audiences, generate leads, and grow revenue using podcasts, speaking, and press, right? They are our sponsors. And what's so great about that is they have committed to everybody who registers, every attendee who registers as a tier 2 or tier 3 attendee will get one of their silver or gold membership packages for a year. Right? If you are saying, okay, yes, I know I need to get in front of more audiences, Robert. I know I need to speak more for my business. I know I need to get into some conferences and places where I can have my message be heard on a larger or wider scale and grow the leads that I need for my business. I want to be able to help more people. I want to have greater impact. This sponsor is committed to that. They have a platform that allows that to happen much more easily. And this summit that we've got happening on April 23rd and 24th is designed to equip you to do just those things. All right. So if you've not joined, if you've not signed up for the summit yet, all my 10 KSB people, do me a favor. Y'all sign up and y'all just do this thing together. April 23rd and 24th. All right. So head on over. If you're not seeing this, go down, click on this QR code, screen cap it, press it. But you can also just go to amplifyvoiceandvideosummit.com, get signed up. If you are not able to attend all of the sessions, okay, if you're signing up for the free layer, let me actually go back so that y'all can see this. If you're signing up for the free layer, you will not get all of the sessions, but it's just enough to whet your appetite and give you a sampling of the goodness that is going to be there. Okay, that's fine. But if you really want to go next level, if you want to make sure that you get everything that is going to really push you forward and move the needle in your business, you want to jump to that tier 2 attendee. So you're going to get all of the sessions. You're going to get community access. You're going to get all of the replays for all of the sessions, and then you'll get that 1-year Speaker Hub Silver membership. Then if you do the tier 3 VIP session attendee level, then you'll get all of the sessions, community replays, Zoom backstage access to myself and the other presenters. You'll also get access to the bonus Q&A that we'll be doing after the summit is done. And then you'll get potential screen and stage time, plus that 1-year Speaker Hub Gold membership, okay, which is a $350 value by itself, right? Well, I shouldn't say $350 value. You pay $350 for it, but it's more. So I want you to get connected with this session. I want you to get connected with this summit because I, Robert Kennedy III, RK3, I believe that it's going to make a difference for you. I believe that it's going to help you up level your business. I just do. I do. And I believe that not only because I'm going to be there, I believe that because we've got a phenomenal lineup of experts that is committed to helping you do just that. All right. So that's all we've got. I hope you got value. If you got value from today, just go ahead and type value in the chat. I see you, Kelly, Commas with Kelly, LaKanya Murray, off the mark IP Solutions. We got to talk about some of that stuff. I know there are a lot of people that are having trademark questions as they move forward in their business. So yeah, I've got some people that I need to connect with you. And who else we had? Dr. Erica Taylor. Who else did we have on here? Let's go Instagram. Let's see who we got. Gio. Okay. Govardhan 6135. So glad you were there. Ariel Bailey. Mrs. Brathwaite. Good to see you. All right. Zio for Life. Good to see you. Seth Lorda. Good to see you. Jessica. Good to see you. All right. Frank Joe. Good to see you. All right. Good deal. Well, listen, y'all. This is what we've got. This is what we've done. This is what we have. I just want to encourage you. Head on over to voiceandvideosummit.com. Get locked in. We launch this baby next week, April 23rd and 24th. Come on in. It's going to change your life. Let's go.